Daniel says, hey guys, what are your thoughts on SEO packages? Trying to think something I can package together that's easy to manage and affordable for small local businesses. Daniel, there's nothing better that you can do for your business, your agency, than to productize your services. Have service packages that are duplicatable, repeatable. I've been hammering away at this in our mastermind too for months, and you can't scale custom SEO work, guys. You can't do it because it requires you. Everything's custom. When you do custom SEO proposals and everything, and some of you, that's all you want to do. That's fine. That's fine. If that's what you want, if that's what makes you happy, do it. I'm not trying to convince anybody here of anything else, but if you want to create a scalable business model so that you can make crazy amounts of money, you need to stop trading hours for dollars. And if you're doing custom SEO proposals and custom SEO plans for every freaking client that requires your personal input to not only develop the plans, but to manage and everything else, that's not scalable. Right? Because it requires you and your specific effort. You have to have duplicatable, repeatable deliverables that then you can delegate or automate in order to be able to have a scalable agency that can produce fuck you money, right? Or else you're trading hours for dollars, which is fine, guys. You can be, most people come into this business and say that they run an SEO business. I mean, you might be a business owner, you might have a company, but most SEOs are self-employed, and that's fine, guys. I'm not trying to knock that, right? I'm not saying that at all. My link building business, guys, I've delegated the vast majority of everything, but it still does require my personal input, and I couldn't walk away from that business, and it wouldn't last on its own without me yet. But I've been able to get most of it delegated to where I have a much smaller input than I used to. But there's still certain things that I just will not relinquish control of. And that is like reviewing target URLs and anchor text assignments and things like that. That's all, everything still runs through me for my approval for that. But so I'm not saying I'm immune to this or that I'm any better, guys. I've just learned over the years, I've been doing this business long enough that I finally realized, and I talked about this in our mastermind last week, starting my white label SEO services is what really made me aware of this, because prior to that, even for my own local SEO agency, I still had a lot of customization for every client. So every single time I would quote a client, like when I started Tree Care HQ, I had my Google Business SEO as kind of like, that was my starting point, which I had a flat monthly fee for that. Well, variable monthly fee depending on competition levels, but it started at $850 a month, flat out, for just Google Business SEO services. And that was always my pitch. So that was somewhat productized. But still, once I would get on a call with a client, what I call discovery calls, I always do 2 call closes instead of a single call close. So I'd always have a discovery call, and then I would have the closing call after a 3-day period or whatever. So on the discovery call, I would identify other areas that then I would add to a custom proposal. So there was a repeatable deliverable, but then I would always add customization to it. And it wasn't until I started my white label SEO services that I realized that I had to, out of necessity, develop repeatable, duplicatable deliverables. And then all of a sudden, my income just exploded. My revenue like exponentially increased when I was able to do that. Why? Because it's scalable, right? You can train and delegate every part of that. And so now you can create or take on more volume, more work, because now if I take on more work than what our current team can handle, we just onboard new employees and put them right through the SOP training. And now, because I've got the SOPs and I have so many employees that are trained and I have project managers that are trained, et cetera, I don't even have to do the training anymore, right? I just assign the SOP and then I assign to one of my project managers or one of their subordinates to work with that new hire until they're fully trained and autonomous, if that makes sense. So SEO packages are a fantastic way to, and guys, that's what again, talk about this, guys, like think about, I think a lot of us, and myself included, it's hard not to get 100% invested in every SEO project that you work on. It's hard not to, right? Because especially if you are results driven or oriented, et cetera, it's hard not to provide the best results that you possibly can for your client. But think about what the most successful agencies that make fuck you money do. And I'm not saying that we model their bad practices treating their customers like shit. But what do big agencies do? They have incredible marketing and sales teams, and they bring on they're always generating new revenue because they don't take care of their clients. Most big agencies don't really do a very good job for their clients, which is why there's a lot of churn. But what do they do to generate the kind of money that they do? They have marketing and sales teams in place and that's what they're constantly generating new revenue for the agency, bringing new clients in, right? They also have a high churn rate. They have a high attrition rate, meaning they lose a lot of clients because they don't perform at their, provide the results that they probably promise. That happens a lot with larger agencies, but they make a hell of a lot more money than we do as smaller agencies, right? And I'm not saying that we model that where we go out and sell them, constantly are onboarding new people. We should be taking care of our clients. If you have any integrity whatsoever, you should be doing everything you can to produce the result. But instead of investing 100% of your attention into every SEO project because that you're promising the world, find out what the biggest levers are that you can pull in SEO that have historically produce results consistently, and focus in on those and do those, right? Create packages around that and then scale that, because you can duplicate and delegate or automate any of those, right? You can, and that's the thing that I'm saying. You're not going to win all of them, right? You're not going to hit it out of the park every time. You're not going to hit a home run every time, but you can hit, what I mean by that is if you land 100 clients, maybe 80 of them are going to get good results for your deliverables, your repeatable deliverables, because you're working on the things that are going to produce, that historically produce results, have a history, consistently produce results. And you do that, you have the deliverables. That's your deliverable, right? You promise the deliverable, you provide that every single month, and it should produce results. And sometimes it's not. And so then it's up to you. Do you want to take more personal individual attention for that? Can you hire a skilled SEO that then you can assign to those projects that aren't responding quite as well to your normal deliverables, where then you add on some additional services, et cetera? Like have a process for that. Like once you identify, if you have repeatable, duplicatable deliverables that produce results most of the time for most clients, now you've got a real business that you can scale. And then for those clients that those big levers that you're pulling on aren't producing the results because they have a unique situation, which you're going to come across often, then you can have a skilled SEO, or you can do it yourself, at least initially. But my recommendation to, as a business owner, as an agency owner, is to find a skilled SEO that then you can have assigned them to those projects to do the extra stuff when needed, right? So that you are still producing the result. And by the way, you can have that as an add-on, like as a hey, listen, we're doing what we do for all of our clients, and it typically does, but this is a unique situation, Mr. or Ms. Client. And because of that, this is our recommendation. It's going to require some extra special attention, and we have this as an add-on for that reason, which can be consultation. It can be a certain amount of hours per month of additional SEO work or whatever. Like there's a number of ways that you can monetize that too, and package that up to where, again, it's a repeatable deliverable. It might require a skilled SEO to do consulting and analysis and everything else, but you sell it in packages. Like here's a 5-hour monthly add-on for $500 or something like that is what I'm saying. Because now you've got, again, a repeatable deliverable. Does that make sense? So SEO package is one of the best things that you can do, guys, because now you, and by the way, that's the other thing, guys, think about that. Now you can develop a marketing campaign, and all your sales messaging and everything is all about, like, you should have one lead in product, right? That's what you should always have: one lead in product, one basic deliverable that you push, and then you have ascension products, right? Or services where you can ascend them up the ladder, right? They call that an ascension ladder, to different higher level services or add-ons or cross sells, et cetera. That makes sense. But that way you have one service that you pitch, and you get really good at figuring out what it takes to convert a prospect to a sale for that one service, right? And then once you develop a relationship, at least I found that to be a successful way to do it, is once you develop a relationship with that client and you provide some initial results for them, et cetera, then you can always upsell them to additional services at that point, or a higher level plan, whatever. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense, guys.